The storm raged outside the modest apartment, rain lashing against the glass, as Elena Harper stood in the dim bathroom light, her fingers gripping the pregnancy test. Two faint blue lines stared back at her, sending a wave of shock and quiet fear through her body. This wasn't part of the plan, not after the ink had barely dried on the divorce papers from Alexander Sterling, a man whose world of wealth and influence had swallowed their love whole. Just a month ago, she'd walked away from it all, her heart heavy but resolved. Elena's marriage to Alexander had been a whirlwind, sparked in the bustling streets of Chicago, where she'd taught third grade at a local public school. He was the heir to the Sterling Empire, a family of old money that controlled vast real estate and finance holdings. His mother, Eleanor Sterling, had never hidden her disdain for Elena, a simple woman from a working-class neighborhood with no pedigree to match their legacy. Eleanor had whispered doubts into Alexander's ear from the start, planting seeds of division until the marriage cracked under the pressure. Elena had signed the papers in a sterile law office, Alexander sitting silently across the table, his eyes distant. He hadn't spoken up, hadn't challenged his mother's iron grip. That quiet betrayal stung deeper than any argument. Their union had lasted scarcely a year, a fleeting dream that ended in heartbreak. But in the final days, before the papers were final, Alexander had appeared at her door one rainy evening, his voice soft with regret. They'd shared one last night, a fragile moment of connection amid the ruins. Now this test changed everything. Elena was carrying his child, and he remained oblivious. She dropped to the cool tile floor, her mind swirling. Telling him felt impossible. Eleanor would see it as a threat, a claim on the Sterling name. With their endless resources, they'd fight for the baby, deeming Elena unfit. No, she thought, cradling her abdomen protectively. This child was hers to safeguard. In the quiet hours that followed, Elena prayed for guidance, whispering pleas for strength in the face of uncertainty. Faith had always been her anchor, a quiet belief that life's trials held purpose. She decided then she would leave Chicago behind. Her sister, Sophia, had long invited her to Seattle, where the misty forests and gentle rains promised a new beginning. Sophia worked as a nurse there, sending photos of serene hikes and cozy cafes. It was far enough, over 2,000 miles, to rebuild without shadows from the past. Elena picked up her phone, her voice steady despite the turmoil. "Sophia, it's late here, but is your offer still open about me coming out west?" "Of course," Sophia replied, concern lacing her words. "What's going on, Elena? You sound shaken." "I need a change, a real one, away from all this." Elena paused, glancing at the test. "I'll explain when I get there." 2 weeks blurred by in a haze of packing and farewells. She gave notice at her school, hugging her students goodbye as they gifted her drawings filled with colorful scribbles and heartfelt notes. No one knew about the pregnancy. At 5 weeks, it was her secret alone. She sold what she could, loaded her car, and drove west, each mile a breath of freedom. Chicago's skyline faded in the rear view, and with it, the life she'd lost. Seattle welcomed her with soft drizzle and the scent of evergreens. Sophia's cozy home in the Capitol Hill neighborhood became her sanctuary, with warm wooden floors and views of distant mountains. Sophia enveloped her in a hug the moment she arrived. "You're here. That's what matters." That night, as they sat with herbal tea, Elena confessed, "I'm pregnant, Soph. Alexander doesn't know." Sophia's eyes widened, then softened. "Oh, Elena, does he deserve to?" "He let his mother tear us apart, didn't even try to stop it." Elena's voice cracked. "What if they take the baby from me?" "We'll figure this out," Sophia said gently. "Together." Elena settled into a rhythm. She found a community clinic where a compassionate doctor confirmed the pregnancy and offered support. Temp teaching jobs kept her afloat, and Seattle's laid-back vibe healed her spirit. She attended a small church group, finding solace in shared stories of resilience and grace. No one pried into her past. She was just Elena, starting anew. Her belly began to swell subtly, a secret joy amid the uncertainty. But secrets in a connected world rarely stay hidden. Elena took a substitute role at Evergreen Elementary, a welcoming school with engaged families. It paid well and included benefits for her growing needs. Unbeknownst to her, the school's donors included ties to East Coast philanthropists, threads that could unravel her peace. One foggy morning, the principal, Miss Lydia Grant, knocked on her classroom door. "Elena, a word in my office after class." The office was inviting, lined with student art, but Miss Grant's face held worry. "I've had inquiries about you from a firm in Chicago representing Eleanor Sterling." Elena's breath caught. What did they want? "Details on your health, your life here. They mentioned a possible pregnancy." Miss Grant sighed. "I haven't shared anything, but they're persistent. I thought you should know." Panic surged. How? A leaked medical record? A chance sighting? Elena rushed home, mind racing. Eleanor knew, and that meant trouble. Sophia found her poring over legal sites. She found out. She's coming for the baby. "We'll get help," Sophia urged. "A lawyer. You have rights." Elena's phone rang, an unknown Chicago number. She answered, heart pounding. "Elena," Alexander's voice, familiar yet strained. "Mother told me. Is it true?" The question lingered, heavy with unspoken pain. Elena touched her belly. "Yes." Silence. Then, "Where are you? I'm coming." "No, Alexander. You chose her over us once." "I was wrong. Please, let me explain." Against her better judgment, she whispered, "Seattle." He arrived the next day, looking worn, his usual polished demeanor frayed. They met at a quiet park by the Puget Sound, waves lapping softly. Alexander's eyes went to her gentle swell, filling with awe. "Thank you for this," he said, sitting carefully. "I failed you, Elena. Mother controlled everything, my choices, our life. I let her because I was afraid, but losing you, it woke me up." "Too late," Elena replied, voice soft but firm. He pulled out a locket from his pocket. "I bought this before the divorce, engraved with the date we met at that charity event. I planned to give it to you, to say I'd break free, but she found out, pushed the papers faster. I believed her lies for a moment, that you deserved better without our family's mess." "Why didn't you fight then?" "I tried that last night at your place, but words failed me. I thought I was protecting you." His voice broke. "Now, with our child, I can't walk away." Elena prayed silently for clarity. "I need proof you've changed." Over weeks, he showed it. He cut ties with Eleanor, documenting her manipulations. He attended appointments, holding her hand as they heard the heartbeat, a tiny miracle. "It's a boy," the doctor said, and joy lit their faces. But Eleanor struck back. She dug up Elena's past, a college incident where a friend had borrowed her car and caused a minor accident, twisting it into negligence. The school placed Elena on leave. Alexander confronted his mother. "This ends now," he said over the phone, voice resolute. "Hurt her again and I'll expose every secret you've hidden." Eleanor's empire trembled as whispers of scandal surfaced. Alexander sacrificed his role, starting fresh in Seattle with honest ventures. In time, Elena saw his transformation, rooted in regret and newfound faith. They attended counseling, rebuilding on trust and quiet prayers. One evening by the Sound, Alexander knelt. "Elena, will you give me another chance to be your husband, our son's father?" Tears fell as she nodded. "Yes." They remarried simply, surrounded by love. Their son, Noah, arrived amid spring blooms, his cries a symphony of hope. Years later, Eleanor sought reconciliation, humbled. Boundaries held, but forgiveness bloomed slowly. In their cozy home, Alexander whispered to Noah, "Family is what we build with love." Elena smiled, heart full. Sometimes, second chances are heaven's quiet gift.